Okay, it's the Nutmeg Curling Club. This is the 2019 Yale, the college SuperSpiel with teams from all over the East Coast. And this is Craig Steffen here at the Nutmeg Curling Club. And very shortly I'll be reading off who's playing on which sheet. The curlers are out on the ice doing their practice slides. For this first draw, we have Yale 1 versus MIT 1 on sheet A. On sheet B, we have MIT 2 versus Villanova. And on sheet C, we have Yale 2 versus SUNY 1. They'll be determining the hammer by flip. The color is determined already. All right, on sheet B, MIT 2, the mean curls is red. And Villanova should be yellow. Villanova 1, cha-cha sliders, yellow. And on sheet C, in 60 top 4, Yale 2 is red. And the Pokemon SUNY 1 team is yellow. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is SUNY.
Oh, you got it?
I got SUNY, but I'm still missing one. I'm still missing.
Oh, MIT hasn't filled out the other one, I think.
Yeah, MIT 1.
No, MIT hasn't done it.
Okay. All right, we're underway here. Still sorting out some information for each of the different teams. Sheet C is the first sheet to start. This is SUNY Polytechnic. And they are on sheet C, and they are playing Yale 2. Okay, so that's sheet C's. Sheet B, MIT versus Villanova. All right, quick check here. Looks like we're going to make sure that the stream is up and running. I can also check on the live dashboard. Oh, I got 4 people watching already. Okay. Switch over so we're seeing where they're throwing the stones to. All right, so on sheet C is Yale Team 2 versus the SUNY Polytechnic team. Red through the second stone. So that means they have the hammer. So Yale got the hammer on sheet C. On sheet B, quick check here. We just had the second yellow. Red also has the hammer on sheet B. And it looks like yellow has, nope, red also has, red has the hammer on all three sheets. So red was lucky with the flip so far. This is a round robin tournament. Three teams of, I believe, three groups of 6 teams. It is a point spiel, and you get points for winning the game. You get points for the total number of stones that you score, and that is actually you keep track of the total number of stones scored by the opposing team, so it's a differential. And then all three of the different pools will be sorted and ranked after they all play each other, and that will determine who goes into the various finals. So we are off and running at the 2019 college spiel here, the Super College Spiel here at Nutmeg Curling Club. In this first draw, again, we have 2 Yale teams, 2 MIT teams, a Villanova team, and a SUNY Polytechnic team. So I'll take a quick look over here on sheet C, Yale 2 versus SUNY Polytechnic. The lead for the SUNY Polytechnic is Rebecca Jones, and the second is Leanna Galank. The third is Diana Faust, and the skip is Alex Hull. That is SUNY Polytechnic. Then Yale 2, local curlers who practice here at the Nutmeg Curling Club. We have the lead, John Michael. Second, Joe Wang. The third is Patrick Huang. And the fourth is Jiang Lin. And that's their skip, John Lin. So that is on sheet C. On sheet B, we have MIT 2 versus Villanova 1. The MIT team, the lead is Thomas Carutti. The second is Jessica Harasono. And the third is Kelsey Becker. And running the team, the skip is Kiki Arias. And that's against the Villanova team. Ben Scott lead, Joshua Gurin the second, Peter Kratz third, and skip Jeremy Wang. Got a little biographical information about the players, so as we go along here, I'll fill in a little bit about them when we have the opportunity. For the most part, I'm going to try to stick to the view that gives us as many playing sheets as possible so that people can come back and follow their games. I'll only switch to the over-the-house looks when a particularly interesting shot is being thrown. Because I know that when curlers go back to watch their games, they really like to see as many of the throws as possible. And welcome to the people who are online following. If you have any comments, you can put them up on the comment board, although I don't check it that often, but I'll try to remember to go and check it. All right, so let's take a quick look at the sheets here. Again, I believe red has the hammer on all 3 sheets. And on sheet A, yellow is actually counting right now with one biting the back of the forefoot, but it is exposed. Looks like they're going to take it out. On sheet B, there's a yellow stone in the far back of the house and a nice draw coming in, but it's not going to curl enough. It's going to be swept back into the back 4. Again, it looks like it's exposed. Yep, the opposing skip immediately calls for the takeout. And on sheet C, yellow is also counting and biting the 4, but it's wide open. So we got to look at a few takeouts here. Okay, looks like they went for the draw on sheet A, came up a little light and bumped their own stone in. That actually turned out to be okay. They're not counting, but they do have a one near the forefoot and guarded behind their own red stone. Now, but yellow, I believe, is counting on sheet C. I'm sorry, sheet A. So a takeout coming down on sheet B. It's got to curl a little bit more. It's going to get the takeout, but it's probably going to lose their shooter. End up being a peel. Sweeping really hard on sheet B, and he didn't get rid of it. So it hangs around, and it looks like it actually may be the counter. The one in the back is a biter, and the red one is out counting it. The yellow team on sheet B, that's Villanova, immediately calls for the draw into the top 4 foot. Come in underneath their own guard and try to be counting 2. Sweepers are on it really early, and they're going pretty fast. So I think they think the ice is probably a little slow. It normally starts out a little slow and speeds up as the game goes on. They're pretty much hammering it, and I think they're just going to get another guard out of this. And it's going to over curl too, so that's just going to be a high guard, not of any great consequence. Up, didn't even make it. It is a hog, so away it goes. Didn't make it across the red line. Over on sheet A, we've got a bunch of reds in the house and a couple yellows in the house, so but the back yellow is counting and is well guarded. So again, red does, I believe, if I figured it out properly, does have the hammer. So things can turn around in a hurry. Over on sheet C, it looks like can't tell who's counting. Let's go ahead and take a look at far C here. And there it is. Oh yeah, yellow's counting 1 right now, so and then red is number 2. Let's go back. So MIT2 tries to draw in and right above their own red one in the back there. Try to be counting 2 and have them the front one guarding the back one. Didn't curl enough, so they've got a pretty open hit. Real opportunity for a double here. They hit that stone just off the front center of it, and they can send it back and take out the other red and get rid of both of them and keep their stone in play. That appears to be the call. All right, so over on sheet C, going, I don't know whether they were intending to pick off just one. They're probably trying to get rid of both of them, and they picked off the back yellow, which is okay. Red is counting, but their stone is wide open. Over on sheet A, got a yellow takeout stone on its way, trying to hit the front red in the top 8 and run it back into the other red and get rid of at least one of them. It's unfortunately it was a little wide, and it just tickles the red one and leaves it counting. But it actually slowed down enough with that bump, and it ends up being the counting stone. So that was a nice. I'm presuming that was Plan B. I don't think they planned that, but they'll take it. So MIT1 calls to take out the front yellow. Oops, sorry. Yale 1 calls to take out the front yellow stone because Yale is red, and they want to open it up so they can get to that yellow stone that I believe is counting. I can't check on that. Well, one of our cameras over sheet A, the straight down on top of the house cameras doesn't work, has a connection problem. Okay, a little slash, and it's going to jam on the. Oh, and unfortunately, that leaves yellow counting too. So that was the danger of the takeout is you got to hit the right angle, and MIT got a little bit lucky there, and that the takeout had plenty of energy to get rid of it, but it jammed on a red stone and is now counting. The good news for Yale 1 is that the house, they still have a clear path to the button. They can hit the yellow one and take it out and slide over next against the other yellow one. That would work. Over on sheet C, nice clean takeout of the yellow stone, but it didn't get enough roll, so the red stone, which is Yale 2, is still exposed. And so SUNY 1 won't take very long here. Already setting the broom down next to the Yale stone. They're going to go for the takeout. Oh, unintentional high taking out of the guard on sheet B. Not of any, well, they took their own stone out, kind of opened it up a little bit. So on sheet B, yellow is counting 1. Yellow is Villanova. Okay, so the first for without hammer on sheet C, Team SUNY. Stone's on its way. They're trying to chip the red one out. They can either chip it out and slide over to the left or chip it out and slide over to the right and hide underneath their own yellow stone. That would be the best shot. But they're going to get the nose, so they got rid of it. That's fine. They don't have the hammer, so they just want to make sure that the best that Yale can do is to score 1. That's always a principal goal without the hammer. You'll love to steal points, but you'll take giving up 1. All right, the busiest house is clearly over on sheet A. Um, Yellow, which is MIT1, and MIT1 is sitting 2, but at least one of them is very exposed. Actually, I take that back. There's a very high guard that I didn't notice before, so they had a little bit of work to get around that very high guard, but they should still be able to get around it and bump it out. And if they get on the inside of the Yellowstone, they can slide in towards the button and be in good shape. Sheet B, thrower's on the way, and it's judging from the broom and the arm. They're just going to go for the draw right underneath their yellow guard and probably put it in the top 4. They'll take anything in front of the tee line that's close to the button, and it's coming in. The line is good. They think it's a little bit fast. It's slowing down. Here comes the opposing skip, and they're going to put a little broom on it and pound on it for a bit. They're going to leave it in the back 4. A decent shot. But there's a few stones still to go. All right, over on sheet A, they tried to take out the yellow stone that was counting, and they missed it. Okay, so this is the last shot on sheet C for SUNY 1, and they're trying to take out the Yale stone. Yale is currently counting, well, he's counting 1. They got one in the back 4 foot. So they're just trying to bump this yellow one out and be counting 3 and force Yale to do a dangerous little draw for 1. And they did it, and they're going to be counting 3. All right, so the Yale team has a little bit of work here for their last shot for the hammer. We also have the hammer on sheet B, and another delicate shot as partially guarded stone on the back 4 foot. And this is MIT2 stone on the way. They're sweeping really hard. Nope, now they're off. But you got to make sure they get around that high guard, get enough curl to curl in and pick off that yellow stone. And it looks like they're going to hit it, and they're going to get the roll. They're going to get rid of it. Oh, but the other skip slipped their stone back far enough, and I can't tell. It looks to me like it's going to end up being, well, let's take a look at that real quick. Oh, they're pushing them. I couldn't tell. I think it's 2 red. We'll find out soon enough when they put the score up. All right, here comes the hammer over on sheet C, and they just need to come down and bump that yellow stone. They don't even need to touch it. You just come down and out count it. Oops, it's a little wide, and it's going to sweep it by. Oh boy, that's going to put Yale team 2 into a little bit of a hole early on. They gave up 3. All right, back over to the busy house on sheet A. Still got pretty much the same thing, 2 yellow stones in the 4 foot, and then 3 red stones, quite a few stones in play. I believe this is the hammer. It is indeed the hammer. And they've just got to come down and just bump that yellow one that's on the left side of the 4 foot. You can see the broom is about 1.5 stones away. Going to go for a heavy draw or a light takeout. They got to get enough contact. They really just need to come down and bump it so that they can get inside and count 1. It looks like if they nose it, they give up 1. So they do need to come onto the inside of that yellow stone. Okay, sheets B and C have started coming the other way. I want to wait until we finish this shot right here. It's got plenty of energy. It's going to make good contact, but it's going to just spit it out. And yellow is going to get the first point on sheet A. So MIT takes, I believe, a 1-0 lead on sheet A. And it turns out that it was only 2 yellow stones on sheet C. There must have been a red one I didn't see. I can go back and look. That's all right. So I'll take them at their word. So it's 2-0 on sheet C. And sheet B has not put their score up yet. So not sure what happened there. Okay, let's switch over to the other end. Now they're all coming home. They're all coming towards the warm room. All right, so we're all coming this way, so let's have a little fun here. One of the things that we have on the sheets for the teams, I don't have a sheet for every team. I'm missing 1 sheet. But I do have some interesting information. For example, I get to find out what their majors are. So the very first major on Yale 2 is a first-year student who hasn't figured out what they're doing yet. They're undecided. I have to talk to them, see if they maybe be a chemistry major. Okay. The second is an economics major. The third, Patrick Huang, is a medicine major. And the skip, Xiong Lin from China, is an international and developmental economics major. Playing against the SUNY team. And we have a chemistry major. I'll have to talk to them. Literally, I love this. There is indeed such a thing, a rocket science major. Probably enjoyed the United Launch Alliance recently of a giant new spy telescope that went off about a week ago. Computer science and bio major in the third position. That's Diana Faust. And from Norwich, Connecticut, another chemistry major, Alex Hall. All right, I'm glad to see chemistry well represented on sheet C. On sheet B, we have a computer science major at the lead, mechanical engineering major second, Kelsey Becker is the third, and a media marketing political science major. And we have Kiki Arias, who is the skip, computer science and electrical engineering. Playing against Villanova, and the major for the lead is a civil engineer. Math philosophy major, Joshua Garvin, is second. And then Peter Kratz, the business analytics and management information systems major. And then, yes, I love it, Jeremy Wong, the skip, is a biochemistry major. I'm showing my chemistry and biochemistry bias. I admit it. Over on sheet A, we have family nurse practitioner student, who's the lead, and the major public health policy is the second. That's Emily Peterson. Okay. Who actually is known as Shorty Spice. And then we have Peter Kappert and another chemistry major, and Greg Dellis, which is a double major in graphic design and psychology. So I have to say, for this first draw, that we could call this the chemist draw. There are more chemistry and biochemistry majors out here than any other major. It has been noted that curling has a tendency to attract us geeks and nerds. There certainly is a preponderance of science majors. And in the curling club, we have a lot of scientists, we have professors, we have people who spend a lot of time analyzing data in all kinds of different ways in medicine and economics and business. We have high school teachers, we have engineers. All right, sheet B has still not put their score up. I know that yellow scored. I just don't know how many. Sheet A is 1-0 for MIT 1. Sheet C is 2-0 for SUNY 1. And I'm not absolutely for sure on sheet B. I know that yellow scored. I believe they scored 2. But we'll wait until they put it up for confirmation. Okay, so right here on sheet B, got a draw coming down to the back yellow, and it's just lots of dancing on the broom there, trying to get it to go by, but it just ran out of energy. Got a nice draw. He is counting, but it is wide open, so immediately calls to take that red stone out. Okay, Yale 2 got a nice draw coming in. It's gonna over curl. It's gonna hit the front guard and bump it in. He was sweeping that. That's all right. Over on sheet B, we've got a takeout coming in. It's not going to curl enough, and the red is going to jam on the yellow. So that was a miss because they wanted, of course, just to take the red out. So red immediately calls to guard that. MIT's going to put a guard up in front of their stone in the back four. SUNY 1's got a draw coming in, but they're also coming up a little bit short. My guess is that, oh, wait, they're sweeping it really hard. Got 3 sweepers pounding away on it, and they got it nicely. Yeah, I thought it was slowing down, but it wasn't. It slides right in onto the button. It is behind a red guard, so red can run their red stone straight back and clean that yellow stone out. And red does have the hammer, but right now, yellow, which is SUNY 1, is counting 3. So Patrick Wang is checking out the angles and trying to figure out where to hit that red stone to get the best effect. Most critical thing is to run it back into the yellow and remove it and leave his stone. If he hits it right on the nose, he can chip the yellow out and guard his own stone. Hello. How are you? Bob Brody in the house. Who you rooting for? You got somebody? Who are you rooting for? Anybody? I'm rooting for all the chemists and biochemists. There's like 5 chemistry and biochemistry majors out there.
We have another one.
Yeah. All right, so we got a heavy draw coming in on sheet B. Looks like they're trying to chip the red out, and they're going to do a nice job of it and leave two yellows. The yellow's counting, and they're also number 3. Oh, and they got some support from the warm room, who shouldn't be pounding on the mirrors, but okay. On sheet C, the run back takeout works, but it's a little bit of an angle, so he loses his the one that he ran back. So he does get rid of one of the yellow stones, but unfortunately, loses his own stone. The good news for Patrick is he did open it up, so he wants to keep control of that the front and make it so he's got an easy shot for the last shot if that's all he has left. Of course, you'd like to score 2 or more, but ooh, nice shot over on sheet B. Just missed the guard, came down and bumped the yellow ones back. I believe red is now counting 2. Over on sheet C, yellow is counting 3, but they're all behind a T line, so that's actually in red's advantage, except the fact that they're there and counting. But they can be used as backing. So it's one of those nerve-wracking moments for the skip over on sheet A, because yellow's got a lot of stones counting, but there is opportunity. They're throwing a takeout, and it looks like it may be, I can't tell, I'm sitting on way far away. It's going to take out one of the yellows, and they're going to lose their shooter, so yellow's still counting 2. Yellow on sheet A, that is the MIT 1 team. All right, I still don't have. Eventually, sheet B will remember to put the score up, probably at the end of the end. Well, they go, wait, we don't know who's winning. It happens. Oh, there he goes. He's going out right now, and he puts up 1 yellow in the first end. Okay, so that means Villanova is up 1-0 in the second end on sheet B. Over on sheet C, yellow's trying to guard their stones that are counting in the back 4 and back 8, and they got a nice guard coming in. It needs to curl a bit to completely guard it. They're just going to pull it right into the house and bring it into the top 8. Decent shot, but I don't think it guards the 2 back yellows, so I think they can come in and Yale 1 should have a takeout on those back 2 yellows. Oh, nice sweeping on sheet B to pull that opponent stone back, so the red stone is counting. And they're immediately looking at coming down and sitting on that yellow stone they just swept, so they'll be counting 2. The problem with sitting on it is then yellow could just counter and sit on them. So now they're talking about putting it out in the top 4. It's a good call. You want to be, the best shot would be counting, but close enough to those back stones that it's hard to get rid of. Well, practicing her ice ballet there. Oh, to be young and nimble. If I slipped like that, I'd be sitting on my butt. All right, that looks like a takeout, but a flash over on sheet A. So MIT is looking like they might be able to score a bunch early on here. On sheet C, we got a draw coming in. It's a little bit heavy, and they're going to sweep it out the back. Okay, so that was to Yale 2's advantage. So now they can take out the Yellowstone, or they can just draw in. They may decide to take it out because that leaves open the possibility of the blank if they lose the shooter. They may be thinking about that, but they'd like because they really want to score 2 here if at all possible. Sheet B, we got a nice draw coming in, and it looks like it's got plenty of weight. It's going to come down and freeze on the back yellow. It's actually going to just miss it. It just ticked it. Let's take a quick look from over the top here. Yeah, so red is counting 2. There's a very high guard. They left a nice catcher's mitt there, though, so yellow can come right down into that pocket. That's, I believe, is what the call. Actually, it looks like the call is for the takeout, which is kind of interesting. That's not much. It's too little broom to be a draw, unless they're just going to draw underneath the guard. That may be what it is. They're just going to try to draw underneath the guard and count 3. So wait and see how much energy they put on it. Meanwhile, on sheet A, things are looking a little scary for Yale 1. MIT has 4 counting Yellowstones, 1 on the button, 1 on the back 4, 1 on the back 8, and 1 on the front 8. So Yale 1 has got to do some work here. Meanwhile, Yale 2 just overthrew their draw and threw it through the house. They still have 1 more stone left. Okay, nice shot on sheet B. Came down and just bumped the red, and now is out counting the 2 reds. On sheet A, SUNY 1 is calling for the draw underneath the red guard. Want to be sitting 2 and force Patrick to make a good shot simply to get 1. Sheet A, the first stone for the team with the hammer is on its way, trying to cut down all those yellow stones and leave something counting. Definitely coming in with takeout weight. I'll see what kind of damage it does. It's got a front one into the second, so it scatters them all around. But yellow is still sitting 3. They may be 4. Let's go here to see. I seem to not have a near A screen. I need to go over here. Scan down. There it is. Here's the look on A from above very quickly. And we have 3 yellows counting, and then a red. Okay. I'm going to go back over and look at sheet B. Oh, and they're pushing them. I didn't get to see. I'm pretty sure that red scored. We'll see what they scored there. Last shot looked pretty good, and it got at least 1 red, maybe 2. All right, we're gonna leave this on this view just for a second here. We still have 2 teams playing towards the warm room, so we'll stay on this view. Over on sheet A, yellow has 3 stones kind of framing the button in the back 8. And on sheet C, yellow has 2 stones, and they're throwing the hammer right now. So they've got to bring this stone down and out-count 2 yellows. They do have backing. They can come down and bump that yellow that's just sitting on the back 4. But she's thrown it a little bit wide. It's going to, they got to go, and it's light. They got to be very careful here. It's all about the weight now. Stone is sliding in. It's actually looking pretty good if it doesn't over. Oh, they're going to be able to sweep it out, I think. Uh-oh. Yeah, all right. They swept it out, and it's going to be 2 yellow. So a miss there, and SUNY 1 will go up 4-0 after 2 ends. So Yale 1 has got themselves, or sorry, Yale 2 has got themselves into a bit of a hole. All right, now over on sheet A, 3 stones is turned into 4 stones. So yellow is counting 4, and that is MIT 1. But Yale 1 has the hammer, and they're getting ready to throw the hammer. They have an open draw for 1. They just have to come down and sit on a button. There's plenty of backing. So a real good chance of cutting them down, and a decent chance of getting their 1 point. All right, so the hammer is on its way over on sheet A. Watch this stone come in. See how it plays out. The sweepers are off it. They think it's got plenty of weight. So the skip was staring down 4 yellow stones. Got to draw. Oh, and he's going to. Oh, no. This could go right through the gap and give up 4, and it does. Okay, so big score there. 4. Yeah, maybe. No, it's 4. Yeah, it's 4. Okay, so. Yeah, a little bit wide and a little bit heavy, and it slipped through. So MIT 1 is going to take a big lead on sheet A. Okay, let's switch over to the other houses here. Let's take a look here. And switch over. So we're looking at the other direction where everybody's shooting now. And on sheet B, yellow did got 1 stone in the second in. So I had said it was red, but there was 2 reds and a yellow there, and the yellow must have been just barely counting. So yellow's up 2-0. So right now the yellow stones have all the mojo. Every point that's been scored has been scored by a yellow stone. So we'll see if that trend continues. It's 5-0 on sheet A for Team MIT. It is 2-0 on sheet B for Team Villanova, and it is 4-0 on sheet C for SUNY Polytechnic. Many of these curlers are fairly new to the game, and it's ice that they don't know, except some of the Yale kids who practice here a lot. So big ins are possible, and there can be a lot of swings in the score. So even for the teams who are a bit behind right now, there's lots of opportunity. Okay, over on sheet A, got a yellow stone slipping out the back and 1 high corner guard. Sheet B, we have a stone magnet on the right side of the sheet. All the stones are ending up over on the right side. That was supposed to be a draw in underneath all the guards, I'm sure, but it didn't make it, so the ice is a little slower than they thought. On sheet C, the call is to put up a guard on their yellow one that's on the button and be counting 2. We got some more teams coming in, signing their waivers and getting ready to play in the 9 o'clock draw. I think it's 9:30 actually. Okay, got dueling stones here on sheet B and C. They're both on their way. They're both halfway down the sheet. The sweepers are just kind of trotting along with both of the stones. Let's see who's going to get there first. Okay, so actually got 3 stones in play. Sheet A is going to get a nice guard. Sheet B is going to slide through the house, and sheet C is going to be a little bit heavy, and it's also going to go sliding through the house. So 1 light stone and 2 heavy stones all at the same time there. Okay, let's go take a quick look and see if I've got any. Oh, we're all the way up to 11 people. We're going to be on ESPN 27 here soon. I got 11 right now. All right, it's on sheet C, trying to take the Yellowstone out. Heavy draws coming in. They just want to bump it back. And they're going to be a little bit wide, and they're going to hit it. Oh, actually, and it's going to split it, and they're going to get rid of the yellow. Maybe. Oh, they leave it out there in the 12-foot, but they are number 2 right now. It just didn't curl enough for them and kind of split. So SUNY 1 calls for a counting stone in the top 8, I believe, the top 4, just drawing in. The top 8 buried on the center line would be fine. He's out wide enough. He may, he was wide of the broom, so he could end up with a nice split house here. Yeah, that's going to be okay. Now, they don't have the hammer, so you don't normally split the house, but it's okay to challenge the other team, especially with a lead. You're happy to trade them down and give up 1 if you're up 4-0. All right, over on sheet B, we have almost empty house. One biting stone and a 12-foot, extremely well buried. All right, Yale stone is on its way on sheet C. The call was to take out the yellow stone, but I think that they actually put the wrong handle on it, and it's going to take out their own stone in the back. That was a bit of an oops. It happens. I didn't notice he may have slipped coming out of the hack. Sheet B, we have yet another stone on the right side of the house, or right side of the sheet. Oh, and they get a little pinball action, little pool play, and it's the yellow one bounces around and chips off the yellow and slides, or chips off the red and slides in, and is now counting in the top 8. And well buried, so a little luck for Team Villanova there on sheet B. Sheet C, Team SUNY throwing a heavy draw. They're going to come down, and they're actually looks like they're going to come down and either freeze or just bump their stone. Get a little bump. They really should have come off that and let it freeze on it, because now that they're separated, the Yale team can hit the front one hard and get rid of both of them. They got to be careful, though, because there is a counting yellow stone that's a bit buried over there in the 8-foot. So if they throw exactly the angle they need for the double, they may lose their red shooter, or it won't be counting. They come inside to do a little flop after the hit, then they may not lose. They may only get rid of 1 yellow. Okay, so sheet B, red threw a draw in underneath the guards and just out counting the Yellowstone. So red is looking okay there, but the route to the 4-foot or button is still open, and it looks like Team Villanova is going to try to chip the red stone out. Looks like it's about half of the stone exposed, so the shot is there. The shot is the attempt to chip the red stone out is on its way. The sweepers are walking along with it. They seem to be happy with the weight. The skip has not called them on yet for the line. It looks like it's out. Okay, there they go. There they go. Now they're pounding on it. Uh-oh, looks like they may have been a little bit late with the line call. It's going to be close. Oh, they made it. They made it. Oh, it ticked it. It just barely ticked the yellow, and they got contact, but it didn't hit it hard enough. Oh, actually, it was red throwing, so they're just promoting their own stone. That's fine. Okay, Patrick Wang's shooting over here on sheet C, and he's going for the double on the 2 yellow stones. He's certainly going to get one of them. Let's see if he gets them both. No, he got the jam. Unfortunately, he came across just a little bit too much. So he gets rid of one of the yellows, but I believe yellow is still counting. Let's take a quick look at far C from the top. Yep, yellow is 1, red is 2, and yellow is number 3. Back. Take a look at this mess on sheet B. Red is 1 and 3, and then yellow's there. So red did get with that little tap back, and yellow's trying to figure out how to get rid of this. If they can get inside of the red, they could get a double, but that's going to be very hard with the guards. I'm going to go back to the full view here so we can see the draw coming in on sheet C. Over on sheet B, we got 3 stones in the back of the house, 2 yellows and 1 red. So red is looking to draw in underneath that gaggle of guards up front on the left and be counting. They need to come on down near the 4 foot to outcount the yellow that's in the back right 8 foot. Oh, they're obviously just going to take the yellow stone out. That's the red stone is screaming down the ice. The sweepers are jogging along with it. So hopefully it looks like he pitched it. He's gonna flash. Gonna miss off to the right. It's a problem with the upweight takeout. If it's not online, there's nothing the sweepers can do, and away it goes. Oh, nice. Oh, interesting shot there on B. Just got a chip and did a lot of caroming, and unfortunately spit out their own yellow stone and left red counting 3. So good for red, good for MIT too, but not good for Villanova on that shot. Okay, so now over on sheet C, Yale is throwing, and he's going to try to chip out the yellow one in the back and go right through the middle. He'd like to just hit it out and keep his stone in play. He's a little bit wide. I think he's on the guard. Yeah, it's going to hit the guard. So he peeled his own guard off, which does leave the house a little bit more exposed, so it helps him for his last shot, but didn't do much good in getting rid of the yellow stone in the back 4. Does open it up. And if you got the hammer, you always want to have it as open as possible. So sheet B, red is throwing. That's MIT 2. They're counting 3 right now. I would just put the nice guard up on a 12 foot near the center line, or just draw it in. So we'll see what the call is. The broom leaves open the possibility of either of those shots, depending on how much it's curling. All right, shot's on its way. It looks like it's got plenty of weight. In fact, it looks like it might be a little bit heavy. I think it is. I think that I wouldn't sweep that. Just let it go down and tick off your red one there. Be counting 4. Doink. That's fine. All right, so MIT 2 at this moment is mounting a bit of a comeback on sheet B. They're counting 4. It's a little exposed. Yellow can still get one in close near the button. So it's certainly not over with yet, but it's looking pretty good for red. On sheet C, we got a takeout coming down, trying to take out the red stone, the Yale red stone, and they're going to cleanly pick it out. Oh, and leave a nice guard in front of there, so they got one biting in front of the 4 foot and one in the back of the button. They are lined up. Yale can double it out, but if they hit the double perfectly, they won't be counting because of the other yellow stone in the 8 foot, I think. Let's just take a quick look at that, see if I said that right. Yeah, pretty sure that if they hit that yellow one, it's close actually. They might be count. If they double it, they might actually be counting it if they hit and stuck right on the nose. Nice draw coming in on sheet A. Just right in underneath all the guards and biting a 4 foot. Nice buried guard or buried draw for yellow. So the dominance of the yellow stones is continuing on sheet A and C. Red stones are about to mount a comeback on sheet B. This is actually, I believe, with the Skip's last shot on sheet B without the hammer. He's going to be trying to hit the red stone and roll underneath the other 2 reds. The perfect shot would roll right up underneath that other red and be hard to get rid of. Shot's on its way. Sweepers are starting from way out in front, and now they're coming along with the stone. On sheet C, Yale is attempting their takeout. They could take out 2 and be counting. Oh, she's a little wide. It's got to curl back. We got some troubles over here on C. I think she may end up missing. Oh, yep, it just ticked it and went on through. It chipped the yellow over, leaving yellow counting 3. She's still got a stone left, and the house is pretty open in front, so still can get away and just get their 1 and move along. Okay, on sheet B, they did indeed remove one of the red stones, didn't get any roll, so red has an open takeout for 4. So a real chance of a comeback here on sheet B. MIT2 could storm back into the lead and take a 4-2 lead if she makes this shot. Let's take a look at that far B from above. Oh, okay. Oops, I missed that back red stone there. So this is not an easy shot to get rid of the yellow. I did not realize there was a red one hiding in the back there. That's why the overhead view is nice. And so it's got to try to chip that yellow out, which is a very makeable shot, and then would jam into the other red. So that's probably the shot they're going for. Let's go back here and watch the shot on sheet C where they're trying to guard their yellow stones. Okay, here comes sheet B and sheet A. Sheet B is for a lot of points. Looks a little slow, actually, and it's going to curl. It looks like she just decided to just do the draw for 3, which is fine, as long as it doesn't hit it with too much energy. Oh, it's going to clack, clack. Oh, boy. Oh, I think that actually hurt her a little bit. Let's take a quick look. See before they kick them. Okay, actually, I think it was all right. I think red got 3. So red has gotten 3. That should make the score 3-2 after 3 ends. Okay, over on sheet C, the Yale team has a bit of a mess to deal with, staring down 5 yellow rocks. 5 or 4. Is that back one yellow or red? Let's take a look at that from the top. And it is indeed yellow. So she's looking at a whole bunch of enemy stones here. Wants to try to cut them down at least. It would be hard to score. Certainly could cut them down to 1 or 2. Okay, let's go check out sheet A. Got a draw coming in, and it is the hammer. Needs to curl over to the yellow one. It's looking like it's a little bit fat, a little bit too much, and a opposing skip is going to come out and gleefully sleep it out the back. And it's going to be at least 1 yellow. Oh, they chipped the little yellow in the back, so it may only end up being 1 yellow. I can't tell. It's close to being a biter. They might even have to use the biter bar. All right, over here on sheet C, big shot early on, already down 4-0. Got to get rid of some yellow stone. Oh, she's narrow. She's going to hit the front guard on the left, I think. Now there's she had to. Now there it goes. It's curling. This is going to be close. They're holding it actually, but it's going to chip it out and lose the red stone, and it's going to be. Oh, it took 1 yellow out on its way out the back, so there's still only 3, but still three for yellow. So SUNY takes a commanding lead on sheet C. We'll be up now, I believe, 7-0. All right, and we are now going to switch back over to the warm room view. They're all headed this way. Okay, the Yellowstones continue their utter dominance on sheet C, and I believe on sheet A also. Yes, yellow picked up 1 more on sheet A. So it's 6-0 on sheet A. MIT 1 over Yale 1. It is 3-2. The Redstones are making a comeback on sheet B. Okay, so MIT 2 has taken the lead on sheet B, and on sheet C, SUNY 1, SUNY Polytechnic has taken a commanding lead, 7-0 after 3 ends. But things can change in a hurry. There's 5 ends to go for all these teams. So, all right, it appears that Colgate Curling is in the house. Hello, Colgate. How are you doing? Welcome to Nutmeg. Did you come last year? All right, you're back. We didn't scare you off. Okay, I happen to be a chemistry professor, so I'm very proud that there's like 6 chemistry and biochemistry majors out here. What do we got? What are your majors? Biochemistry, yes. And? Economics? Psych? Okay, well, I started out as a psychology major, then I switched to chemistry. So, It's a long story, and I have to pay attention to curling. Yeah, yeah, Colgate. Hmm. How's life in the snow belt so far this year? And lots of snow. I went to school in upstate New York at Houghton College, just quite a bit farther west, out south of Rochester. So I was there for 2 years. It was tough for this Southern Californian. About an hour, south and west of Rochester, and south and east of Buffalo, in the Genesee River Valley. Oh my God, all the time. It was frightening how much snow we got. They didn't even use inches there. They just talked in feet, half a feet, 2 feet, whatever. Yeah. All right, back to fun things on the ice versus talking about unpleasant stuff outdoors in the snow. Although we've gotten off quite lucky here in southern Connecticut so far. We've had some big rainfalls, but no massive snows. We did have a bit of an ice storm last week in the central part of the state. A lot of trees down and power lines down. Okay, so the two Yale teams are have dug themselves a bit of a hole. They're going to have to try to come some big comebacks. Sheet B is neck and neck, 3-2. So we have some entertainment for each of the different curlers. They were asked an interesting fact, okay, about each of the team members. So I'll read a few of these off because, well, they're entertaining. On sheet C here with the SUNY Polytechnic team, the lead's interesting fact thinks her British accent is not noticeable. Maybe I should secretly interview her when she comes off the ice and we can make a judgment on that. The second interesting fact was that Lyme disease was named after my hometown. So I guess her home, oh, look at that, her hometown is Old Lyme, Connecticut. An interesting fact or disease that many of us unfortunately have direct understanding of, myself included. It's not fun. But better living through chemistry, I'm a fan of doxycycline, which does a good job of taking out Lyme disease. Deanna Foss, the third, her interesting fact, um, she plays the saxophone, like Bill Clinton. That's cool. I used to play the trumpet. And Alex Hull, the skip for Team SUNY Polytechnic, whistles Go Woo. I'm not sure exactly what Go Woo means. Maybe it's a pop song that I don't know. And on the Yale team, the interesting fact for the lead says they met Billy Ray Cyrus at a gas station in central Pennsylvania. And I'm presuming that did not leave them traumatized for life. I hope not. Joe Wang doesn't have any interesting facts. Oops, sorry. I didn't notice it was blank until I read his name. Patrick Wang, who's studying medicine, says, I like tapeworms. Doesn't everybody love tapeworms? And, okay, let's find one more here. Over on sheet B, let's get some interesting facts on the Villanova team. The lead's interesting fact, spent 35,352 minutes last year listening to Spotify. Okay, I have high-fived Rob Gronkowski. Doesn't he do something with pigskins, like catch them? Yes. By the way, he wants to say hi to Mom, Dad, Marissa, I don't know, and Joey. It's like OIVE. Joshua Gillen, the second on the Villanova team, can solve a Rubik's Cube in less than a minute. Do we have a Rubik's Cube here? I think we should test him. I don't know if we do. All right, he says hi to Mom, by the way. Peter Kratz, interesting fact, never swallowed a pill. So what's he do when he needs an aspirin? I don't know. He also has never had a mosquito bite, which I actually don't believe. May not have realized it, may not react to them, but I bet he's had a mosquito bite. Jeremy Wang, the skip on Team Villanova, is an avid volleyball player, and he also likes to cook. Oh, we can put him to work this weekend. On the MIT2 team, the leads, Thomas Karate, his hair is insured. Okay, now I got to look at him and see just how good does his hair look that he feels it's necessary to insure it. Okay. Oh, and look at this. Jessica Haresmo, the second on the MIT team, is from Chino Hills, California. I grew up in Pomona, California, actually, so not too far away. Kelsey Becker, interesting fact, has 2 Fendi purses and a silver Lexus. Okay. I think she's not getting paid as a professor. But I think those are fancy. I think that's a fancy purse brand, and I do know that a silver Lexus is a nice car. TK Arias, interesting fact, she does car commercials. So maybe she sold Kelsey her silver Lexus. Or maybe he sold Kelsey's parents their silver Lexus. But she sells cars in Japan. So that could still be true. All right, back to the curling. Yes, there is curling going on. On sheet C, SUNY 1 is continuing their dominance. They have 3 yellow stones in the house. Yale is looking like they're going to come down and draw down and sit on the closest counting yellow stone on the 4-foot. Perfect shot would be sitting right on top of it. And you could try to corner freeze. The problem with that is, and they could just pop it and get rid of it because they have a big lead. They don't care if they lose their own stones. So they want to come down and sit on the front of the yellow stone. So it's hard to get rid of. Unfortunately, it's a little bit fast, and it's just going to chip the yellow stone. We'll see what happens here. Boink. And he's going to try to sweep the red stone out, and he's going to put it back in the back 12 on the other side. Over on sheet B, we got 2 yellow biters out on the 12-foot, and that's pretty much it. And on sheet A, got a pretty interesting house on sheet A. Well, it's okay. We got yellow stone on the 4-foot, very well guarded. Red stone out biting the 8-foot. Okay, so yellow's in a pretty good situation there with a nicely guarded deep stone. On B, what looks like what was meant to be a draw underneath the yellows is going to bump the front yellow stone. It's going to be just heavy enough to sweep it out the back. Maybe a biter, but certainly is right on the edge. Oh, and now SUNY has 4 yellow stones in the house, all counting. Okay, who's a graduate student? Who's undergraduates here from Colgate? All undergraduates. I wasn't going to guess. I get them. Yeah, I know. Yes. I know their Yale groups are kind of split, about half and half. I don't know about the MIT. I could take a wild guess. Looks like some of the MITs might be grad students. Oh, total. Oh, okay. Yeah, I teach at Fairfield University, so I know a little bit about Colby. All right, on sheet A, Yale's trying to come down and out count all those yellow stones. They actually have an opportunity here. They could come and sit on the back yellow one and kind of nestle into the pocket there and be counting and very well guarded. It's a tough shot, but it's there. Shot's on its way. It's got plenty of energy. I think they should be sweeping, though. It's going to over curl. Yeah, a little bit late on the sweep call. It's going to curl too much and kind of tuck in on top of all those yellow stones. Yeah, and a little tick, and it's spun out. It might be counting number 3 now. Okay, let's go take a look at the dashboard, see if we have any. Nobody's commenting, but we have 12 people watching. I don't know whether that's because they're not able to comment or they're just being very quiet out there. Now we got a huge crowd of 12 people watching the stream. All right, over on sheet 1, I have one more sheet of interesting facts. The Yale 1 team lead Julia Lacarni, otherwise known as Southern Spice. Interesting fact, did my first pelvic exam in clinical today. Yes. All right. Yes. you gotta start somewhere. Okay, and Emily Peterson. Now that would be Shorty Spice. And Emily Peterson. Interesting fact, 2 webbed toes, and was on her high school swim team. Okay, I have to admit that the webbed toes is more interesting than the swim team, but it might actually help. Exactly. So she got a competitive advantage to have to wear special socks to take. No, they would have webbing too. Okay, so 2 webbed toes and is on the swim team. Those 2 facts may be interconnected. Who knows? And the third, Peter Capwork, okay, I can't read it, is a huge Watford fan. I'm guessing that Watford is a band or a person who sings in a band. Watford. Watford. Any of the Colgate people know who Watford is? Is that a singer? No clue? All right. Whoever Watford is, Peter Coppert likes him. And is also fascinated by vexology. Now, they happen to be a chemistry major, so I should know what vexology is, but I don't. VEXI? Vexology? So flags. Okay. Oh, I learned something. You learn something new every day. That could be. But they're from Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah. And Gregory Dellis has different sized ears when he was born. I presume now they're the same size. But he had different sized ears when he was born. All right. Our fearless leader for the Bonspiel has been called out onto the ice. I'm not sure what the question is. Okay, let's take a look at the sheets here. Sheet A, that stone is still buried in the back. You're going to try to run the red back into the yellow, and a little bit too much angle. So they ended up splitting the 2 reds in, but the yellow is still counting and guarded. On sheet B, we got a red stone counting and another red stone out in the 12-foot. Going for the takeout on sheet B. The yellow takeout is on its way. Looks like it's going to peel. I don't think it's going to stick around. It's going to get contact, and both stones will go out the back of the house. And over on sheet C, we again have a developing situation with yellow counting, I believe, 3 stones. And Yale's trying to cut them down and get in there and get a point. Looks like they're going to try that draw into the pocket on the left side as I'm looking at it. Stone is now coming down the ice. Okay, they're done on sheet B. We'll have to wait and see what the actual score was. Sheet C, the draw into the pocket is going to be just a little bit heavy and is unfortunately going to slide out into the back of the house. Okay, red is throwing on sheet B, so that means they stole, and I believe they stole 1. We'll see it soon enough when they put the score up. So you just see them coming out of the hack there, and the stone's on its way, and they're trying to put up a center line guard. It looks like it's going to just slide into the top of the house. I'm going to stay on the view that we're on now because we got 2 teams late in their ends coming this way, coming towards the warm room. There you can see me waving from our broadcast corner. It's not really a broadcast booth. All right, on sheet C, the SUNY team is sweeping hard to get a guard in place to make it to take away that 1 draw shot. And they do a nice job of it. Put one of the top 12 guarding that draw. So Yale just has an open draw for 1. Okay, what's happening over here on sheet A. I believe it is the hammer. And yellow is counting 1. They're trying to find some way to get at that yellow stone. They're looking at a very difficult angle raise takeout. Everything has to be perfect for a shot like this to work. You have to hit it hard enough to drive the yellow stone out, and you have to hit it at just the right angle so that you hit it out and leave yours counting. The good news is if they pull it off, they would score 3. Oh, no, 4. The bad news is it's a very difficult shot. Okay, over on sheet C, Yale is elected to go for the draw where they've got some backing. They can do a little tick and roll off the front. They're just trying to score 1 here, but this a good call because you've got a Yellowstone sitting in the 8-foot that you can bump off of and still score. So it gives them a little more options. Her release is a little bit narrow, and unfortunately, I think she's going to hit the front yellow and could end up giving another point to SUNY. Yeah, they're realizing that now. They're still sweeping. Yeah, this is really unfortunate. I think it's going to just pop it into the top 4 and give them another point. Ouch. Okay, that is at least 4 yellow, and they're kicking stones. All right, they've made their decision over on sheet A. Actually, he made the shot, and yellow ended up counting 1, I believe. Oh, okay. They're just giving high fives for a nice shot. Now they're pushing stones. So yellow picks up 1 on sheet A and now goes up 7-0. SUNY Polytechnic on sheet C scored, I believe, 4. So they've also taken a very commanding lead up now 11-0. And on sheet B, we have a tight game. It's 3-2, and they've yet to put up the score for the 4th in. So, and I believe it was 1 red. So I think it's 4-2 on sheet B. A little bit sluggish on their scorekeeping there on sheet B. I guess I'll have to pay closer attention. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the other view. Now that we're all going that way. Oops, sorry. Thank you. On sheet B there, Villanova just tried to go down and take out 2 reds, and they just put up a nice field goal right through the gap. So red is counting 2 on sheet B, and they're going to put a guard up probably in the top 8 or top 12, just to the right of the center line. Let's see if I coaxed anybody into. William Muldowney. Hello, Will. I'm guessing that might be one of the Muldowneys. I don't know which, if it is just Will or Diane or somebody else. Welcome to the Nutmeg Curling Club live stream. All right, we got Colgate here. Who else do we have? Who's sitting next to Colgate? Who's this? This Villanova, the other Villanova team? So you're cheering on your teammates or your yes. So what majors do we have here?
Civil engineering.
Civil engineering, marketing, civil engineering,
MIS
and analytics. What's the first part?
MIS, management.
Information. Okay, management information systems. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Oh, God.
Oops. Sometimes it. Do you guys happen to know how many did Red score in that last in? They haven't put the one. So it is 4-2. Okay. Yeah, they didn't put it up. And who do we have down here? From MIT. The other MIT team?
Yeah.
Or okay.
For the alternates for the two teams.
Oh, your sub. Yeah, okay. Because there's both of them are out there. Yeah. Okay. And what are your majors?
Physics.
Physics and aerospace. Yes. Two people after my. Do you like Brian May from Queen?
Yeah.
Did you see that he actually got a publication on this recent space
did.
probe out? Oh, it was just so wonderful.
Yeah.
It was very cool. I'm a chemistry professor at Fairfield U.
Oh, cool.
So it's about 5 miles from here.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Nutmeg. Did you come last year or is this your first year?
This is my first year.
Yeah, cool. I will tell you that I'm enough of a space science geek that I watched the Allied launch last week of it was a spy telescope. Read a very cool article about how they can tell what it's going to be doing by the orbit they put it into. And it's a polar orbit at a certain altitude, and they can, get a pretty good idea, even though the agency whose satellite it is isn't talking about it. They can figure out all kinds of things just based on what orbit they're putting it into. What do you think you want to do? Don't know yet. Maybe you'll be helping on that first manned mission to Mars. Well, I am so old, I got up as a 9-year-old and watched Apollo 11 take off. Not live, but on TV in California. You'll be amused to know that just today I read an article on aerospike rocket engines. So you might be one of the few people in the room who knows what an aerospike rocket engine is. Look it up. It's very cool. It appears that was the dinner bell. I'm going to wander back over to my spot. Back to my corner. Back to the Nutmeg Curling Club broadcasting sector. It's not really a booth, it's a sector. Nice guard there put up on sheet B to guard the stone on the button. So red has sheet B is the only sheet where red has mounted a comeback. Got pretty serious scores for the yellow teams on sheet A and C. Oh, I just got Colgate's cool information sheet. They're not playing right now. And it turns out that Grace McDonald is a radio DJ, WRCU FM in Pelham, New York. Well, I would like to say hello to Grace from KYFM Bartlesville, which is a radio station I was a DJ at many, many years ago. I'm cheating and reading the Colgate interesting facts. I'm sure they'll be read out later for when they're on the ice. But Kate Miller's interesting fact is I once got away with switching classes with my identical twin sister. This has probably happened more than once for me. I'm somewhat legendary for not remembering the names of people. So if they looked anything like their sister, that would be easy for them to do it in my class. Okay, over on sheet B, Skip and Vice are staring down the Yellowstones, trying to figure out what to do, how to get them out of there. They're counting 2 yellows that are both guarded. So probably going to throw a heavy draw and try to bump the yellow back and be counting. There's not much broom there, so it looks like they're going to. It's interesting. It must not be curling that much with that little broom. Over on sheet C, Yale 2 trying to mount a bit of a comeback. Right now they're counting 1, but it's exposed. They're going to go ahead and try to. Let's see, what is the call here? It looks like they're going to try to take that yellow stone out in the back and slide over to the left. They do have a biter in the front, I believe. So, and the one in the back left may also be a biter. Big takeout on sheet B. Her huge throw. The rock is screaming down the ice. Looks like they're actually going to try to take out both yellows, but they're going to peel the front red instead. It was a little bit narrow. Stone goes shooting over to sheet C, but they intercept it just in time. So they peeled off their own red stone. Could turn out to be that they have a stone left, or was that it? Oh, that was actually it. So it's now the hammer on sheet B. Yellow is counting 2. They got an open draw for 3. So we got a really exciting game on sheet B between MIT 2 and Villanova 1. Back and forth scoring here. Looks like yellow's going to get at least 2. They're sitting 2. So it looks like the call is for the simple draw for 3. Why not? The easiest shot in curling, which of course is what you often miss because it's so easy and it's open, and all you got to do is draw the 4 foot. And why would you ever miss? And because you let it go funny and it goes sideways. Things happen. However, the shot looks good. Looks like it's a little light. They may have to sweep this some to get it there. There, now they're on it. Now they're all 4 of them are on it. And it looks like they're going to get it nicely. Yep, 3 yellow. So now it's going to be 5-4. Villanova up 1 after 5 ends. A little bit of a back and forth game here on sheet B. Over on sheet A, the red team, which is Yale 1, trying to mount a comeback, is counting 2 right now. But yellow's got an open takeout. They come on the inside of this, they could get a in-off double and get rid of both of those red stones. With the lead they have, it wouldn't be a bad idea to try that shot. And they've got plenty of weight for it. The handle they put on the stone made the in-off a little bit harder, the way the stone is spinning. So they may have just been going for the one take, which is fine with a nice lead. You just want to minimize any scoring by your opponent. Oh, it actually curled a little bit too much. I mean, it slid a little bit far after the contact, and it still may be counting number 3. So it is indeed 5-4 now on sheet B. Villanova 1. Villanova coming back the other way, the only team coming towards the warm room now. The first stone was meant to be a center line guard. It just came into the house. Yale on sheet C looking to Yale 2 looking to draw in underneath the Yellowstone. Over on sheet A, red team, which is Yale 1, is looking to, I don't know what they're doing. It's like they're going to try to drive the red back into the yellow, which could possibly leaving. I don't know what the intent of this shot is here with the broom that they've got. I mean, if they hit the red on the nose, they would take out the back yellow, but they would still only be counting one. But that appeared to be the call. What they're going to do, they are going to get contact and the jam, so they did exactly what it seemed like they were planning to do. Not exactly sure why. Because, okay, so red is counting 2. We got 1 yellow and 1 red stone left. It did leave the Yellowstone. The Yellowstone in the back is still visible, so it's just putting more red stones in. And it got rid of a Yellowstone that was fighting the 8-foot. So sheet C, Team SUNY 1 just puts up a guard near the center line. I think they probably wanted that a little bit to the left of where it is, but it's doing some good. Sheet B, got a takeout on the yellow. Whoops, it missed. Okay, got a little flash there on sheet B. So the Villanova skip immediately calls for a center line guard up in front of his counter on the top 8. I'll switch over to that momentarily. There's still 2 teams going the other way, so. All right, we've got a takeout coming down on sheet A. Going to try to chip that red that's biting a 4-foot in the back. And it's going to possibly overcurl and peel the yellow out and slide across the front of the house and end up in the top 8. Okay, so red has 1 more stone. And interestingly, they got 3 stones all in the 12-foot. The 2 yellow stones, I believe, are 1 and 2, but they can be doubled out. Oh, and there's another red stone in a 4-foot. So red has a chance to come storming back into this game on sheet A with a nice run back double. And the question is, do they want to go for it or not? If they just bump the front yellow one, they could certainly score 2. But if they get careful and go for it, they could take both yellows out and pick up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a very, very big shot here on A. The Yale 1 team could come storming back into the game. Over on sheet C, the Yale team is going to put a nice shot under the guard and biting the button. Partially guarded, partially. Oh, that was the hammer. So they're going to kick them, and Yale 2 is on the board. Woohoo! That was our fearless leader here who's running the tournament, rooting for his friends. All right, big shot over on sheet A. The stone is on its way. If he pulls off this double, judging from the weight, he's just going to go ahead and take his 2. In fact, I think he's going to be light, and it's just going to get 1. Yeah, unfortunately came up a little bit soft on that throw, and it's not going to make it. Sweepers kind of gave up on it and said, that's not going to work. And so, all right, so Yale 1 picks up 1. It's now 7-1 after, I believe, 5 ends. And sheet B, red, which is MIT 2, is throwing a takeout on the counting Yellowstone, and it missed. So a little bit wide. Did they flash? So let's see where everybody's from. SUNY Polytechnic. We got Manchester, UK, Old Lyme, Connecticut, Hannah, Montana, Norwich, Connecticut. And the Yale team from Worcester, Ohio, John Michael, Joe Wang from Jilin, China, Patrick Wang from Montreal, and Jiang Lin from Inner Mongolia in China. All around the United States and around the world. Villanova 1, Ben Scott is from North Attleboro, Mass. Joshua Gervin is from Phoenixville. I don't know where that is. Maybe it's near Phoenix. Peter Kratz is from Astoria, New York, and Jeremy Wang is from Needham, Mass. And on the MIT team, Thomas Carodi is from Brockhurst, UK. Jessica Harasimo is from Chino Hills, California. Kelsey Becker, Jamestown, North Dakota. It's warm here, she says. Kiki Arias is from Oak Forest, Illinois. And then over on sheet A, the Yale 1 team, Julia Locarny is from Asheville, North Carolina. Emily Peterson is from Denver, Colorado. Peter Kappert is from Des Moines, Iowa. And Gregory Dellis is from Manhasset, New York. And another flash on sheet B. They need to tighten that broom up a little bit on those takeouts. Okay, now, oops, I apologize. I was a little behind the times there. All three teams are now coming towards the warm room. You can see the situation on sheet B. We got 3 yellow stones counting in the front of the house. Sheet A and C, they're both clear with just 1 guard up on sheet C. SUNY's throw is coming in, but it's way wide. They're trying to get a biter, but it's going to touch the line on the outside of the sheet, and away it comes. Alas, on sheet C, Yale's trying to throw a draw in underneath the high guard. Came up a little bit light and hog, so they're kicking it back into the corner. And we have yet another attempted takeout on sheet B. Going to come down and try to just miss that front guard and then get rid of some of these yellow stones. Somewhat of a ticklish situation for MIT2. Got a nice hard takeout coming in, 1, 2, and it jammed the front one into the counter, the closest counter, but didn't get the split, so just left it sitting there. So Villanova will immediately call for a guard on that stone on the 4-foot. They can put this guard in place nicely. They'll be in a good shape. Red has, MIT2 has the hammer. So this would be a steal for Villanova. Do we have a mom and dad? Where from? Yeah, and which one is yours? Oh, not here. Playing at the 9:30 draw? Okay. Which school? At Hamilton. Okay. I got MIT and Yale and SUNY on the ice right now. Oh, and Villanova. All right, so on sheet B, they do get the guard up. It's not perfect. It's a little bit too close to the center line. So Team MIT has an opportunity here to hit and roll underneath all those guards. So they're staring at yellow counting 3 right now, but they can quickly turn this end around with a good hit and roll. Okay, so Xiang Lin calls for the draw on sheet C. Try to come in underneath their guard. Looks like it's a little fast. I should switch to the takeout. She definitely called for the guard, but she's going to get the takeout. He overthrew it, and that's fine. If that stays around, that's a good shot, actually. She just turned around and smiled at the warm room, recognizing that that was a plan B. But you take plan B when you can get it. All right, on sheet C, they're trying to sweep hard to get a little more curl. Unfortunately, the tendency to flash has continued for MIT2. And they again throw the stone just a little bit wide. And now Villanova will yet again call for the guard. SUNY 1 was trying to draw one in on sheet C, but they come up a little bit narrow, and they're going to bump the Yale stone, and it might end up as a biter. She's sweeping hard. It didn't get there. But it is a nice corner guard that they can hide behind. Over on sheet A, Yellow's counting 2, nicely split. And Yellow does have the hammer on sheet A after Red picked up their first point in the last in. Okay, got a draw coming in on sheet C. They need to be sweeping. They're going to hit that front guard. They should have been sweeping a little bit earlier on that. It's going to end up splitting it. Going to bump the Yellow over and the Red. A little bit late on the sweep call there. All right, on sheet B, they put up a guard way up high. So they got a pretty well-guarded 2 Yellow stones, and they're actually counting 3 because they got a biter right up in front. So MIT is just going to have to draw in, I believe, on this shot. And this is the, nope, it's not the hammer, sorry. Oh, maybe it is. I think it actually is the hammer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can count 7 stones, 7 red stones. Here comes the draw on sheet C. Coming up a little bit short. Now they're hammering it. They should be able to draw this in near the top of the house. They got all 3 sweepers, the vice and 2 more, pounding away on it. And they do bring it in to bite the 8-foot, so it is the counting stone. And it's nicely in the center. And over on sheet C, going to try to draw one in underneath the guards. Stone is on its way. It's going to come in underneath the 2 red guards and be counting. That would be 4 yellows if they get it in. Looks like they have gone the other way, which is just fine. There's a guard over there also. So, but they're going to come up just a little bit short. They're not going to get the bite, so it actually helps guard the back yellow one a little bit. Just a little soft. And do leave a nice open area for Red to draw into, and that's what he's calling for. Draw in underneath the guards and the 8-foot to be counting. Okay, so they're ready to go on sheet B. Need a heavy draw to come down and bump the yellow one back. They can't really throw a takeout. It's too much undercover. On sheet C, got a nice clean takeout coming in here. It's going to get a little roll. Nope, it just hit it on the nose. But Yale is counting 2. They'll just return the favor here and take that front red stone out.
All games will just play 7 ends because they run out there.
Oh, okay. So I just found out that 2 of the teams will only get 7 ends because they are on a clock. We have another draw at 9:30, and so they have to play within a certain amount of time to get in a full 8 ends. And 2 of the sheets did not make it. Takeout here on C is clean, and the red stone is removed. All right, so take out, let's see here. We got just a draw coming down on sheet A. It looks like it's a little toasty to me. I think it's going to go right through, and they're going to sweep it out the back. But not a lot of damage because yellow's already counting 3. All right, they're kicking the stones on sheet B. And I'm pretty sure it was 3 yellows. Wait and see what they actually put up. So if it was 3 yellows, that's going to be a commanding lead now. They'll go up to 8-4 on sheet B. Yeah, A and C are runaways. And in fact, on B, yellow just got 3. So now they're all getting close to runaways. I believe so. They're up by 1 and they just scored 3. They haven't put it up yet. Yeah, so they'll be up by 4. Let's see if they remember to put the score up this time. It might have been 4. They've been a little bit slow putting up their score. I know, pretty sure they're. There he goes. All right, the scorecard is coming out of its little pocket, and he's counting up to. All right, so he put it up on 7. So, okay. So the one red stone was a little closer than I thought. So they got 2, but they are up 7-4 on sheet B. That is Villanova. Again, we'll stay with the view that gives us the 2 teams that are near the end of their ends. They're now into Skip's rocks, I believe, on both of them. And Yale Skip's shot is a little narrow, and it's going to curl too much, and it's going to bump the Yellowstone in. They actually should have swept for the tick, but it's going to come in and bump the Yellowstone in, and it may end up counting, and it is. Because the total stones do count in this early part and during the round robin, there's going to be a tendency to play as many ends as they can. So even though it would not be unreasonable if Yale score, or if SUNY scores here on sheet C, they might normally be shaking. They may go ahead and play their 7th in. They are going to be limited to 7 ends because of the clock. All right, on sheet A, we got a nice draw coming in underneath the guards. It bumped the guard, came up just a little bit short. But yellow is still counting 3 over on sheet A. So no doubt the yellow stones are the magic stones in this first draw at the 2019 College Spiel. It's going to just chip his own yellow out. And the Colgate team has gotten the giggles. That's fine. Yeah. All right, sheet A, Redstone trying to draw down underneath the guards, try to cut down those 3 counting yellow stones. Looks like it's a little bit light. The sweepers are pounding away on it. I don't think they're going to make it. In fact, I think they're going to hit the guards. Yeah, it's going to come up light and too much curl. They lost that one. Okay, so yellow, unfortunately, for Yale 1, MIT 1 is going to have an open draw for 4 points. That'll pretty much put the game away on sheet A. Again, they are on a clock, and wins count, total stones scored counts. So, and minimizing your opposition scoring also counts for the placement in this tournament. And so there's less of a tendency to be shutting down and shaking early. Shots on its way on sheet A. Open draw. Trying to come in through the fairly wide open port and get another yellow stone. I may have actually overcooked it a little bit, but it's slowing down now. Looks like it's going to stop with plenty of time, just past the tee line. Nice shot. All right, there's more teams pouring in. Aha. So the Hamilton team has arrived. Getting a little bit noisier here in the warm room. Teams for the 9:30 draw are pouring in. And they are shaking on sheet A. Okay, so sheet A, MIT won. I believe they scored 4, so that would put them at 11-1 for the final on sheet A. They're now talking about it, so they may be deciding that they need to play the one more in because the points matter. Okay, they also, I believe, are all going to be throwing what's called a nutmeg knockout, which is another piece for the figuring out where the standings are. A nutmeg knockout is each team member gets 1 stone. You get offensive sweeping. In other words, your team members can sweep your stone. And the scoring is quite simple. If you bite the 12-foot, you get 1 point. If you bite the 8-foot, you get 2 points. If you bite the 4-foot, you get 3 points. And if you bite the button, you get 5 points. So there's a slight premium for biting the button, 1 extra point. And then those scores from your from the 4 teammates will then be used for ties and breaking ties later on, and for determining placements. Yeah, you're right. So it looks like on sheet A they're getting ready to do the nutmeg knockout. They'll push down 4 stones for each team. On sheet C, we got a nice clean takeout here on the Yale stone, and I believe that was it. And Team SUNY Polytechnic scores 2 more stones. They will win the game 13-1, and they are shaking on sheet C. On sheet B, Villanova is up 7-4. So it's not over with yet, but it is pretty close. Now, I believe that they were going fast enough that they may get the 8th end in. Okay. So it is our closest game. If Red could put a few points on the board up here, they're only down 3. If they could score 2, then they would be, still be down without the hammer, but it would only be a 1-point difference. And who knows, they might find a way of scoring 3. So we've only got 1 game going. Let's go now. Let's switch so we can see that game, see the house. Games on sheet A and sheet B have ended. They both turned out to be a bit of a blowout for SUNY Polytechnic and MIT won. On sheet B, the Redstone just bumped the Yellowstone in. So right now, it's very close. So you can see them checking out to see which one is counting. Now we can go ahead and take a quick look at it. Use the overhead camera more. Looks to me like yellow is counting, but the cameras can lie. There's always a little bit of parallax with the overhead cameras, and so it's not always, it can look one way and be the other. Certainly it looks like yellow. Okay, we got teams coming in off the ice. People are clapping for the winners. So yellow's throwing another draw in to try to count 2. I believe they are counting 1 right now. What's that? Yes, they shook on C. They got 2 more. Yeah. Little bump on the front yellow. Didn't really change things much. It left some guards. Just basically trying to make it impossible for red to score more than 1 or so. Right now, yellow's going to be stealing 1. All right, more teams coming in off the ice. All right, let's have a little fun here. Since we've only got one game going, I'm going to switch over. So this is the MI2 team. They are, let's see, this is the Vice's second stone. You'll see them coming out of the house, coming off the hack and through the house. There they go. Nice form from right above. Stone's on its way. Looks like they're going to, it certainly looks like draw away to me. So now we'll go down to the other end and watch it as it comes sliding home. So trying to go right past there and then keep curling. And unfortunately, it's going to drive the yellow stone in, and they may be able to get rid of that. Okay, they can sweep it out the back. Okay. All right, the changing of the guard is occurring, switching the little signs on the windows for the teams. Getting ready for the 9:30 draw.
So yellow has 7.
All right, so we can see here, looking down, they're trying to figure out, it looks like they're going to go for the simple takeout on that red stone. So Villanova 1 is going to simply remove the red stone, which is fine. If they were to hit it just off the nose on the left, and on the front, just slightly to the left, they could actually get rid of both red stones. So let's have a little fun here, and we'll go and we'll watch them come out of that. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. So we'll watch him come out of the house. He's on his way right down the middle. Looks pretty smooth. There's the skip. Got the broom right next to it, indicating it might have been a little wide. They're sweeping hard on it. No, they got, oh, and they were, yep. No, actually, it was the other way. It was a little bit narrow. And it picked off, oh, got a little craziness, a little pinball action. But he's on it and going to sweep it out the back. So no significant damage done, but it does leave the opportunity of red bumping that red one in and scoring one. And now we are now down to the Hammer's first red stone. So they're looking at it. They're looking at is trying to come in and chip that yellow out and roll underneath all the guards, trying to figure out a way to get 3 red stones. And if they get rid of that yellow one, they'd be counting 2 if they don't roll too far. Certainly a good shot. Come right down the center line and curl out to that yellow stone. Hit it on the inside, closer to the center line. That's what they're looking at. They're going to try to hit that yellow stone and then flop over to the left a little bit underneath all those guards. So they're going to throw hack weight, a down weight takeout, contact the yellow stone, and slide over and be counting 2. It's a good call. So this is the MIT skip. This is Kiki Arias from Oak Forest, Illinois, a computer science and electrical engineering major who does car commercials in Japan. All right, so she's in the hack. And the stone is on its way. Sweepers were on it really early, so either it was narrow or it was, my guess is it was narrow. They're worried about hitting the guard that's up front there. And in fact, it's going to be close. She may end up just peeling the guard. Yeah, she's on the guard. They knew it immediately. They started sweeping as she let go of the stone. So the skip or the Vice must have seen that and got him on it really early. Just came out a little bit narrow. No great harm done. I'm sorry, they were trying to get in there to be counting 2, so it was a disaster. Now, if red scores, well, right now yellow is counting. So what I think yellow is going to do here is just put the guard up to guard their counting stone. I want to put one, just in front of the house. We call it a 3 guard. There's a numbering system starting from right up by the hog line, just the red line you see on the right there. So that red stone is like a number 1. Halfway to the house is a number 2, and right in front of the house is the number 3. And then you just count the rings, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and out the back. So curlers will often use a number system. So they're probably calling for a 3, a guard right in front of the house to protect their yellow stone that's counting. Well, let's see if I'm right here. The stone is on its way. Actually, looks like it's pretty heavy. They're actually sweeping. Oh, you know what? I totally misread that. I was thinking to put the guard up. They're just simply taking the red stone out in the front, and they're going to miss, but they're going to get the back red stone. So I must admit, I'm not sure if that was the call or not. The weight was clearly there for a takeout, and that was a fine shot. That may have been the shot all along. Oh, and they are shaking. Okay, so that's it for draw number 1 at the College SuperSpiel at Nutmeg Curling Club 2019. So we have MIT 1 with the win, Villanova 1 with the win, and SUNY 1 with the win. So the yellow stones were clearly the magic stones for this draw. All 3 Yellowstone teams win. Curlers are all coming in and enjoying a little bit of carbo loading after their matches. Not sure if the teams who are about to go on the ice will be loading up or not, but the teams coming off the ice are definitely chowing down. So this is Craig Steffen. I'll be signing off, and I'm not sure who will be doing the 9 o'clock draw, but you're certainly welcome to hang around and enjoy some more good curling.